The only time I hear that is when Drew Scanlon says it. TJ, thank you very much for the 57 month. Appreciate you. Why don't you need a lava moat? I mean, I think in reality, your question as to why I need a lava moat is simply you compensating for the fact that you do not have a lava moat. So maybe you should acquire one and then ask me why I have one, because you'll figure out why you have one. It's a fun activity to do, and sieges are hard these days, and I'm trying to figure out if a lava moat's effective against them. That's why. Sorry, I need to clear my...
This is madness! Madness. This is Stone Hobo. This is Hobo. This is Hobo.
Yeet.
Bah. How was Warp Tour? I mean, honestly, if you put sharks in a moat and a bunch of baddies fell into it, I'd be willing to bet that the baddies would just run away in fear. And so would the sharks. Although the sharks might run away more than the bad guys would. Oh, probably my fault, yeah? Or just blame the... Or just blame the airplane. Not as many steps as Montreal, though. More or less steps in Vegas. I mean, I've been told by Mythbusters that if you punch them in the nose, they leave you alone. So I think that sharks actually are very human. Because you punch me in the nose and I will leave you alone as well. And also curse at you for punching me in the nose. There's like no way to do this safely. So I will do what I can. But there is like no way to do this safely. The way I want to do it, so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build all the way over top of this. I'm going to deconstruct, or actually, maybe not deconstruct. I'm going to channel down right here. Bubbles. Gunmetal unicorn. YouTube chat's already mourning the loss of my dwarf that's gonna burn to death in this. I don't know. I will say what I always say, which is, have some faith in me, because I certainly don't. If anybody's gotta be supportive and positive about my success chances, it should be chat, not me. I know how stupid this is. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, hold on. Let me see something. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so the best way to do this be to do it this way. I'm gonna get rid of this upper level. And instead build it down here. Because I don't want it to eventually just overflow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put basically flooring all the way along here, and then put a bridge over top of this, and turn this on and off with a bridge. Because I'm gonna go down into here. And then channel down right there to get this in, so. And then channel down right there to get that in, and I'll put grates in. We can put wooden ones in so that they burn too. That's the way to do this. Typing in shark profanities, worrying as I click send, remembering the time I got auto-timed out somewhere for apparently managing a typo that was a slur in Chinese. I mean, I think we would all laugh. Like, I think we'd get the joke, but knowing who you are. But yeah, I could understand the concern there. Okay, let's go here. And go Gabriel. Just checking. I'm assuming the answer is yes, but pumps can pump through where a bridge is, right? 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 I'm just assuming that they can. One way to find out? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know why there's a cow there, but there is. It's the one way to find out, and it's not the wiki. I mean, sure. Oh, wait, are you saying that the one way to find out is to fuck around? Is that where you're going with that? I mean, it is a well-known fact that the best way to find out is to fuck around, so. Gunmetal Unicorn is correct here. Yes. The poor dwarves are so overworked they haven't had time to realize that they're upset. Best not tell them, right? Okay, so ads are going to start in 20 seconds. I will do my best to pause the game during those ads. So that minimum video game is missed. So this is a lava-safe bridge. These are all lava-safe pumps. I now just need... Oh, I don't have any more. I was like, I now just need one more mechanism. I don't have any more. Why is there warthog blood in my fort? That's not supposed to be there. Who put that there? Clean up your goddamn messes, you lazy shits. Rock mechanisms. I need to make this out of gabbro, which I only have 3 of. Here's hoping it's accessible. Okay, well, that's getting done. So I'm going to unforbid every one of my named miners. Except for the Daggett. Daggett is going to be a hero here, hopefully. Oh, well, that's good that you know how to pump water now. You know, you win some, you lose some. You learn some. You can't win some without learning some and losing some. You know, honestly, if you kind of accept and treat dwarves similarly to lemmings, you'll have a lot more fun with this game. Like, be totally fine with losing some dwarves and having casualties here and there, and you will have a great time. It's like, genuinely, the true rule of thumb is just expect to have losses and power forwards, you know? Like, are you truly playing Dwarf Fortress if nobody dies? I mean, I set a dwarf on fire with my moat earlier today, and I know what I'm doing. I swear. Wilmar, thank you very much for chucking out another gift to Raptor Baptor. Raptor Baptor, enjoy the ad-free viewing and the emotes and stuff. Cheers, Wilmar. Chat, can I get a round of beers? Embrace failure. Experience new things. You get way too attached to your dwarves. Me too. I mean, I get genuinely bummed out and sad sometimes when dwarves die. But it doesn't mean that it's, like, not sometimes fun to just say, oh well. I'm very thankful we haven't been attacked by those necromancers again, and it's letting me get my silly moat project up and running. Okay, this is gonna be really mean. The dwarf that's pumping this, I'm just gonna lock them in here. Okay, you over here. You pull that. Oh. You fucker! I remember you! So this guy showed up in my last fort and asked to join a whole bunch, and I was like, no, I don't want to make big human clothing. So I kept saying no, and they're back now. That's funny. Not getting tired of it yet, are you? Gonna keep saying no, bud. Gaming-related ban remains the time that I got banned from the Steam community for spamming the Bay 12 site during the outage of the starter pack download site. I heard Nightmare Steam Sports stories and expected the worst, but someone at KitFox made a call and cleared it up the next morning. Steam has very good customer support for developers and pretty good customer support for people who play video games as well. But obviously it could be better. An elven caravan has arrived. Uh-huh. I'm sure they're thrilled with me. Don't mind me just, like, slowly outputting lava here. It's totally fine. I guess I could just deconstruct and reconstruct these. That might actually be the faster way to do this. Yeah, let's do it that way. Don't you think of being a stupid and doing that? Actually, I don't need to remove this one. Just those two. Pump going north. Gabbro, nethercap, nethercap. And this can be stopped. You can go this way. Please don't catch fire, Zapper. That would be very unfortunate. Some migrants have arrived. Yay! So at least if you do catch fire, we'll have more to replace you. Whew! So far, so Dwarf. Okay, let's deconstruct this. Deconstruct you. And get rid of those 2 wall pieces. Okay. So far, so good. Let's go north. Go Gabbro, you. This upper wall is Gabbro. I think you found an answer to your question. The blobs of fire are very hard to kill. Oh, wait, what blobs of fire do you have? Oh, blobs of fire are very easy to kill with ranged weapons, but with melee weapons, they're very hard. I would make a couple of stationary bolt throwers and let them deal with it for you. But in melee, very difficult to kill. Unless you have extremely talented blockers. Sorry for missing that question if you asked. Will invaders climb the external wall and fall into lava moat? I'm not sure. They will more likely climb the external wall and try to jump over it, or climb the external wall and then shoot me with bolts and arrows. But that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing experimenting, to find out exactly what they will do, because we don't really know all that much until I experiment and test. I'm going to place a windmill right here. And a mechanism right there. It got an update this morning, yeah. About 2 hours before I started playing. And it also got a big one a few weeks ago and a really big one yesterday. I'm gonna go rinse up my coffee mug. I will be back in a moment. Wait. Bark, 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 bark. I was getting tired of suffering from chronic empty mug syndrome. It's a terrifying disorder that many of us suffer from, which is when your mug of coffee is empty and you try to drink out of it anyways and get constantly disappointed. Guaranteed to bring your mood down. You can't believe it still gets updates? Why? The developers are actively paid to update it. And, you know, it's not like they've abandoned their game or anything. Sometimes there's like large breaks between them, but it's always actively being developed. It is literally a family's livelihood. Dregs disease? Okay, I don't know if I get that joke, but... And you don't? Yeah, it's like, no! Or even worse, when you do have one sip left and you're ready for a nice piping hot sip of coffee and it turns out it's actually cold. That might almost be as bad, but... After being accosted by an empty mug. Well, certainly, I guess cold could also be like same old booze. Can I be the moody woodcrafter? Sure. Lobsters are funny critters. I wonder what a sleepy one looks like. She is made deeply uncomfortable by differences in culture or appearance. She presents herself modestly and frowns on any flashy accoutrements. She has a strong sense of duty, and she does not easily fall in love and rarely develops positive feelings. She doesn't handle stress well, and she has a noticeable lack of perseverance. She does not go out of her way to help others, and she tends to think before acting. She has a calm demeanor, and she is quick to anger. She is quite polite, and she is quick to form negative views about things. She has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications, and she does not often feel lustful. She tends to get excited and often starts talking to herself. She needs alcohol to get through the working day, and dreams of crafting a masterwork someday, and personally finds the idea of independence and freedom somewhat foolish, and respects the development of a skill. You just had a siege alert, but can't find any enemies on the map right now. Should you worry? Do you have a siege icon on your map, Adrian? Likes talc and brass and Heliodor, as well as birchwood and warhammers and cages, llamas for their long necks, and the words of the irons of dye. When possible, prefers to consume termites, pig cheese, and fisherberry wine, as well as hates leeches. But you eat termites. Termites. I don't know how I feel about this. Can you show the bedrooms of your dwarves? I don't have bedrooms in this fortress. I have a dormitory, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beds in a row. And then that's my tavern. There you go. You didn't miss them, YouTube chat. I don't have any. Although we probably should make some soon, because I am up to 43 dwarves. Let's just get this done first. Might be 2 anteaters in a trench coat. That's optimistic. Ba-bum-bum-ba-da-da-dum. Where anteater? No. No, it's just dwarf with weird tastes. It's like the kid from How to Eat Fried Worms. So Sleepy Lobster. If a dwarf is starving to death, like literally starving to death, of hunger, they will do the task, which is search for small animal.
Glad to be here.
Which basically is they are searching for small bugs that they can consume. And I guess if your dwarf is starving to death and searches for small animal and happens to roll a nat 20 and finds a termite and you eat it, you'll get a positive mood. One-12th of subs recovered? 1/12? What do you mean by recovered? Regardless, though, thank you very much for the 13th month. Welcome back, man. Which is great when dwarves prefer to eat spiders. That's always my favorite one. He's like, he prefers to consume spiders. It's like, I don't know how I feel about that. That's not good. It's no bueno. It's bad. 'Tis very bad. Gross. Even. I just want to make sure that there's... Sure, but you can't tell dwarves to eat them. Raptor Baptor. You can only assign them as pets if you catch bugs. Okay, so there is no wind down here, so I need to go one further up. It's a bit annoying. Well... Gotta build a little platform for this. No, they don't. Basically, like, you're a uncultured, crazy dwarf, basically. That's the way I read it. You're like the edgy kid that, like, uses their lighter to set things on fire. I may have to go up even higher, or get a different source of power, or just pump it manually. Also an option, but that's a little dangerous. Especially considering what I'm working with here. But, while that is being constructed, I can dig this. So, chat, wish our brave miner dwarf luck, because they've got a lot of running to do when they finish this. So if you like scene of your pants moments like the brave dwarf Daggett, my legendary miner, lover of Ilmirin, friend of many a dwarf, and one of the starting 7, armed with their copper pickaxe at the edge of the base of the great volcano, chiseling through that obsidian like an absolute mad dwarf. I've done this as safely as I can think to do it. And so far so good. That's part 1. And part 2. And they make a break for it, and then I grab the bridge, and then I pull the lever, and it fills. Well done, my good dwarfs. Well done. And then the lava bridge collapses over it. Now I've got a very warm floor. They want a Craftsdwarf skill. That sucks. Oh well. Round of beers to that, I say. Hero dwarf indeed. Brave bloody bastard. I don't think I can just power you from above. I could try though. Because I don't actually know if you can... Actually, maybe you can. We'll see. So I know that you can attach them to the sides. You used to be able to do them like this, so I will try and do it like this. We'll see if this works. One gets legendary mining for a reason. I mean, he was by default my fastest miner due to the legendary mining. 1, 2, 3. Let's just do 1, 2. Sleepy Lobster has created Stelmitharush Soken Nazush, a willow amulet, and offers it to the Song of the Wind. I'm gonna give that to my manager. It's a fun name to say, by the way. Nazush. This is a willow amulet. All Craftsdwarf ship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of... Oh shit, it's willow. And this object is adorned with hanging rings of willow. On the item is an image of Dodok Roofhumor, the dwarf and dwarves in Willow. Dodok Roofhumor is surrounded by the dwarves. The artwork relates to the appointment of the dwarf Dodok Roofhumor to the position of Diplomat of the Alliance of Man in the year 101. Not sponsored by Disney. I swear. They really like their hanging rings. That much is true. It's like they like it when things menace with spikes. Okay, let's reassign my miners. Needs to be on ground or near machine. So let's see, maybe... Maybe this will do it. Otherwise, I can just put one next to it, which is fine. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I can put them directly on top, but nah. I'll just do it the other way. Just place it back here. That's 7 full. I need these pumps to be running before I can open this up. Tend to not give power. Wind and walls can block them. Or, sorry, trees and walls can block the wind. And so if you're on a very heavily forested map, you probably won't have wind anyway. Nope. They haven't needed their center tile to be on top of a machine since the game released on Steam. It was version 50 that was changed. Static Mystery, thank you for the follow. I don't know why I said that. My brain's running on out loud at the moment. Let's see, have I missed anything? No, I haven't. Sweet. Ever just suddenly realize that you're running an automatic? Okay, let's actually see. Does this map have power or not? I thought it did, but maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, is what it is. It could also just be the volcano wet blocking it. Fuck it. If I just go up to here, this will tell me pretty clearly. Although this is actually a really dangerous place to put this. Maybe I shouldn't put it there. Let's just do this. Are troglodytes dangerous? No, dwarves are aggressive to troglodytes, so dwarves try to beat up troglodytes, and then troglodytes defend themselves. Dwarves are dangerous. Troglodytes are harmless. The troglodytes did nothing wrong. They just want out. They're stuck in the cavern layers. They just need a way out. But they never get it. Instead, they just get punishment for existing, the poor creatures. You're still fairly new to Dwarf Fortress. Is wind direction something to worry about? Not unless you need wind power. But it looks like I might need water, actually, which is a bit annoying, but... Banging your head against old versions? Yeah, that's fair. Wait, are you trying to play the old versions, or trying to unlearn habits of old versions? I mean, actually, if... Could just manually fill this. Okay, so if I manually fill this, I do run the risk of maybe setting some dwarves on fire. Which, like, there's worse things that could happen. Yeah, they try to get to the surface and leave the map, yeah. Raptor. So if you give them their own way out, they'll usually just take that. Okay. Let's just see if I can get some dwarves manually finishing this or working on this so that I can just call this project somewhat done for the time being. Okay. Now I just need 3 dwarves to get down here and do the job of pump. Seems like T-Dog's on his way over. Good old T-Dog. Now your FPS has dropped to 0. Just wait. Let me tell you this. If you still have frames and the game hasn't crashed, it will recover eventually. There has never been a time in my entire gameplay history of this game where the game hasn't slowed because of something and it hasn't recovered eventually. You know, we used to call it thinking back in the day because Dwarf Fortress used to like try to crash a lot more often or like not respond a lot. I think it still does that, it just hides it now. And like, Dwarf Fortress thinks a lot, but if it's thinking, just let it think. Don't worry too much. There we go. Let's see if this murders the dwarves or if it functions. Haha! Success! Success, I say! We are filling my moat, chat. Are you proud of me? I'm proud of me. Still getting constructed. We're finding out if we actually have water or wind power or if we need to use water. Seems to be working pretty effectively, though. Fast filling, really? I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, this could be filling so much quicker. But, you know. This moat would def give you a positive mood. I think even if you were a dwarf, you would still be upset at your lack of bedroom, but I'm actually, like, amazed that the moods in this fort are not shit-er. Like, they should be significantly worse than they are, but they're not for some reason, which is kind of whack to me. It's like, well, dwarves, why are you not upset? What's wrong with you? Like, you should be mad at me right now. I'm doing such a bad job. By that, I mean I'm literally doing nothing for you. Speaking of literally doing nothing, let's make them a tavern. And I think our tavern is going to go right here. Oopsies, that's not what I wanted. It's a down ramp. I want an up ramp. Because I want high ceilings in my tavern. So it's appropriately high quality. This is going to be a big-ass tavern. This may actually double as a library. All right, it's about half full. 3 drink. Yeah, I should probably queue up some drinks. I was looking at that going, should probably do that. And farming, actually. All right, I keep burning all the plants. Brew drink from plant. Let's just say 50. Once we have it. It's also going to here and do this. Go up to there and do this. Which there isn't much to harvest, so it's fine. All right, sweet. The demon dreamt? Wait, why did the goblins want peace? What? That don't make no sense. Yay, we finally burned the corpse of that goblin. I mean, we have more than twice the... Okay, not more than twice the food. Went from 7 to 6 to 5 almost immediately when I started saying that. Everybody does this. Go get plants, dwarves. We need it. It's importante. And that's our moat almost finished. We're going to need to fill up the upper level, but I can do that manually later. Most likely by turning this off and on. Milk my pigs? Milk yours. How dare you tell me to milk my pig? Nobody talks to me in such a tone. Yeah, let's pause game. I inspired you to build underground water wheels? One of us. One of us. One of us. Is your moat spanning multiple Z levels? Yeah, but my filling mechanism currently is just one, so I will need to change a few things to make it fill the second. But I mostly just wanted to get this proof of concept done. I'm going to build another reservoir over here. This is going to become a secondary one, and probably quite a large one, because we're going to need a lot of lava to do what I want to do. So this is going to be I've been thinking about this for the last like 90 minutes or so. I kind of want to build Lava Venice. Does that make sense to you guys? At the base of this volcano? Like a semi-outdoor fortress on stilts? On little walkways with lava beneath it? And we are absolutely going to die when the goblins just simply climb up on top of the wall and shoot us with arrows, but so I need to do some upgrades for our walls first, but that is kind of my mental image. No, I mean, just don't dodge. Just get hit by the bolt. Get hit by the bolt and you'll be fine. Less likely to die than falling into the lava. Anyway, the moat is full. So it is time to pull the lever. It's also time to begin farming. Not the most efficient farm, but it'll do. We are also digging out what is going to be our tavern plus other buildings, most likely. Priority number 1. Let's get rid of this. And let's see if we actually have wind in this map. We might just not have wind. We appear to just not have wind. Well, that's unfortunate. Manual pumping it is for the moment. Till I can find an alternative solution. You stop. You stop. And you stop. I mean, there is water down here, so I can probably do something with this. Pump stuff up. It's only layer 34, so that's pretty shallow. That won't be too hard to get power to. Okay, so let's get rid of you. It's late spring. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. Let's get rid of you. And rid of you. And then I'm going to go up to here. I'm going to start channeling down this up here. Actually, I should do this priority number 3. This should be priority number 2. It's a little annoying that I managed to do that, but oh well. Base design has gotten a lot harder after the Siege update. For the better or for the worse, do you think? Actually, I think I kind of like this without this small bottom bit. This will be the tavern as is. Just going to leave a couple of these as, like, aesthetic pillars. Green glass blocks, 2 right there. Let's just get some diorite. Or no, rhyolite, not diorite. I was looking at one and saying the other. I'm also going to go into here because I've got a bunch of forbidden wall pieces, which I'm sure a lot of these are just going to get re-forbidden, but if I can finish them, I would like to. I mean, RimWorld doesn't teach you to think in 3D. Let's make this into the Craftsdwarf Guild. I'm a little sad that it wanted me to make a Craftsdwarf Guild, but that's on me. For not making something else off the bat. And having it ready to go. Let's accept this. I saw a bunny rabbit. Oh, actually, no. I saw a duckling kill a titan in Dwarf Fortress Radiant. It's not unique to RimWorld. I also saw a bunny rabbit try to kill a giant pretty recently, but it just dented it. Which means it could have actually killed it if it got the final hit, but unfortunately it didn't. I was very sad. We were cheering for that bunny rabbit. Unfortunately, its valor was unsuccessful, and so thus won't be remembered in the annals of history. It's truly a sad moment in for Dwarven times. Or at least for that bunny rabbit. Maybe not for the dwarves, but... It doesn't matter if the duckling is a zombie or not. It's still literally just a duckling with the same weapons a duckling has. So as an example, like, a Furby is still just has the abilities to attack of a normal Furby. It just doesn't get tired and has no fear. So, like, the duckling has the exact same abilities as any other duckling. However, it has no fear and doesn't get tired. So it doesn't really matter that it's a zombie. It still did it. So YouTube chat says it's like killing a mech with a laser tag laser. I would say it's more like killing, like, it's like using a locust to last hit like a titan in BattleTech, like one of the really big Titan class mechs. Like the real big hosses, you know? Honestly, I think the Abominable Smoke Zombie Duckling just makes it funnier. The Duckling Abominable Smoke Zombie! Or like the time that I saw a child dwarf punch a demon and the demon exploded. That was also pretty good. Or like the time that I saw a dwarf kill a were creature by biting it in the tongue and shaking it around, which broke its spine. Like, imagine, like, the creature what bites you, you become one. That dwarf managed to bite him in the tongue without getting bit. That's completely incorrect, Radiant. It's more obvious that it happens in RimWorld because you have visual animations. But if you actually go through and read the, like, descriptions, trust me, like, dwarves wrestling things by a pinky finger happens all the fucking time. But I guess it depends on what your take on ridiculous is. I lost a fortress to chinchillas. I also lost a fortress to giant crabs once. Like, it depends on your definition of ridiculous, I suppose. I personally think the combat is significantly sillier in Dwarf than it is in RimWorld. But that's just my opinion. No, because they're way smaller than adults. I mean, like, a late teen child, sure. But, like, they grow over time, so they have the ability to get as strong as adults over time, but when they're first born, they're much smaller than adults. Like, dwarves gain mass based on how much, like, calories they eat. So if they're eating well and having there's lots of prepared meals around, sure, they gain mass pretty quickly, but I need to make rock blocks. Let's just do 150. Let's just do 250. You there, and then let's go to the brew drinks, which should say brew drinks. If amount of drinks is less than 50, do that. And lastly, I need to go over to this, which is already done. Sweet. And let's do plump helmets, plump helmets, plump helmets, plump helmets, plump hamlets. And let's do plump helmets. Pigtails. Plump helmets. Plump helmets. And if you're talking about, like, random animals getting into fights with random things, you should look at your cat's combat logs at some point. I once saw a dwarf lose an eye because he gelded a cat poorly. That might be what. Although I've always wanted to see a dwarf get gelded by failing a gelding roll, because it's like a combat check using butchery. So, like, if they have awful combat skills and they try and geld something, they have to do a combat check, and if they horribly fail it, like, I guess if you're gelding a horse or something, it could kick you in the eye, or like kick you in the nuts and, like, geld you. Imagine failing gelding so hard that you get gelded. You had a hunting dwarf get gelded by a capybara in combat. I think, like, the real advantage that RimWorld has to its storytelling is everything is extremely obvious when it's happening, right? Like, it's very, very clear and obvious when weird shit's going on. Whereas in Dwarf Fortress, unless you specifically go looking for it, you're probably gonna miss the fact that, like, a dwarf just threw a dead hamster at a forgotten beast, which put a hole in its eyeball and destroyed its brain, which I saw once. So, you know. Dwarf Fortress has similar levels of surgery. However, dwarves are better at surgery than the morons in the RimWorld universe, ironically enough. Like, they might have prosthetics, but dwarves generally better at completing the surgery rolls. Although, in Dwarf Fortress, if they fail a surgery roll, the game doesn't tell you. Simply the wound will heal worse, and they will have worse scarring. Sometimes it'll never heal properly if they completely fail it, so you kind of want at least decently skilled surgeons. But I'll be honest with you, I don't play RimWorld anymore because I find a lot of its storytelling to just be bullshit. It's just, I don't find it particularly fun to deal with, like, it's nonsense. I want a game that has fun nonsense to deal with, not a game that doesn't have fun nonsense to deal with. Now I super duper 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 forgot to place that slab, so we should do that. Let's memorialize Dishmab, who died to the moat. No, I mean, that's totally fair. I mean, like, Dwarf Fortress has a little bit in common with Muds when it comes to, like, discernibility, which I think is maybe its biggest weakness. I mean, it's also one of its strengths, at least historically, because it allowed the developers to prototype and, like, add new mechanics really quickly. Which I do think is a strength. But, like, from a playability perspective, for more casual players, I do honestly think it's a weakness. Which is, you know, it is what it is. It is a product of, like, the time that it came from and the situation in which it was created, and I love this game for that. But it does make some of its elements antiquated. Again, I think that that's not necessarily accurate, GeoBeetle. I think that RimWorld is a game for people who like strategy tower defense games with a little bit of storytelling attached. Dwarf Fortress is a game for people who want a colony management game with rich world generation. And I think that comparing them constantly makes me want to, like, lose brain cells so I don't have to think about it anymore. Because I think it's a really bad comparison, generally. The biggest thing they have in common, though, is RimWorld exists because of a self-promotion post, partially, on the Bay 12 forums, which was then updated to include a link to the Kickstarter. And then later, a link to where it released on Steam. And was largely marketed as Dwarf Fortress, but in space. For better or for worse. Well, thankfully I'm not a Minecraft YouTuber, and I kind of bounced off of Terraria pretty hard, GeoBeetle. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've played like thousands of hours of RimWorld. Some people don't believe me, and they're like, well, you should actually play RimWorld before you criticize it. It's like, well, yeah, I admit, a lot of my critiques of that game are out of date because I don't want to pay extra money for a game that I already paid full price for. Woe is me. Oh, the sins that I've committed. But you know, at the end of the day, like, I burnt out on that game super hard because it needed things to keep me playing that it didn't have. And I'm not going to pay you for the ability to access those things. And instead, I'm just going to play something that has those things, which is I wanted richer, deeper storytelling. I wanted better, more interesting management. I wanted better, more interesting construction. And now I have those things. Playing this. All right, so the Breakfast of Trades. I'm going to make this into an homage to my last fort. The Breakfast of Beans. Actually, the Breakfast of Beers. We'll call it that, even better. And that's my tavern now, which means I can get rid of this nonsense. Oh no, I've got an injured dwarf. That's shit. Hold up. I need a mini hospital real quick. Emergency, emergency. I need an empty box. Not coffer. Oopsies. Although I will say it's really funny watching people get really mad about me saying even remotely negative things about RimWorld in my videos. Like, I had one video that I released a little while ago where I showed RimWorld's DLC and then put a screaming sound in the background, and the amount of people that got weirdly mad in that video's comments section was genuinely hysterical. It's like, am I not allowed to poke fun at the fact that that game is $175 worth of DLC? Like, I think I should be allowed to do that. Alright, let's go here. I need a chief medical dwarf. Oh, sweet, I actually have a doctor in the fort. He's a diagnoser. Lennox, you can be the bone doctor. My doctor can be Zon. Actually, no, I want you diagnosing. Do I have any peasants? No. Fisher dwarves? No. Potters? 2, sweet. You go there. I don't have any surgeons.
More Bezos bucks to not spend on RimWorld DLC.
I mean, you can spend them on RimWorld DLC. I'm not your mom. I don't have to give you permission to use your credit card. That would be a mighty conflict of interest in the world where you're using some form of money to give me money. Uh-oh. You good there, Zon? Zapper's unconscious and injured. Olan's unconscious. Dwarf appears unconscious. Ay, ay, ay. The thing I was... Oh, shit. I see what's happening. I dug further than I thought I had. Good thing I just made a hospital. Human caravan has arrived to trade, and we should go trade then. Oh. I also... Once again, I deconstructed my trading depot and forgot to rebuild it. Goddess Tot, thank you very much for the 35th month. Welcome back, mate. Bigger tavern dance floor is the higher the chance of dwarves dancing, although that doesn't guarantee dancing because you need to be in a faction where everybody knows like similar portions of a song. And if they don't happen to know similar portions of a song, you just won't get dancing. Which is a little bit frustrating to some people, but... gives you reason to play adventure mode and walk around singing one song repeatedly in your fort and teaching everybody that song. And then reclaim your fort and it'll be full of dwarves that know that song. That involved around one person running a circle. Oh, I love the circle dances. Those ones are always fun. Okay, so this is going to be a Craftsdorf's Guild. Oopsies, not the button I wanted. So this is going to be a Craftsdorf's Guild. I'm gonna scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. It's metalsmiths, engravers. Is it not higher to the top? I always think it is. That's one of the ones at the bottom that I always think should be at the top, but isn't. It'd be really cool if they just surfaced them at the top of the screen. There we go. The guilds of toys. Trinkets? Nope. The guilds of crafts. There we go. We'll go with that. Seems somewhat on topic-ish. It's got 1,000 value, which means I need to just smooth these walls up, methinks. Let's get all this smoothed up and all that smoothed up. Let's unforbid that, unforbid that. Let's also just check orderlies. So let everybody do this. Clean patient. Yeah, give water. This. I'm just gonna go down to here because right here is an aquifer. So I'm just gonna put a well right here. Or is it just a waste of resources? Give them beds so that they don't tantrum. Visitors have the same needs as dwarves. So like if they don't have a bedroom as an example or somewhere to sleep, like if there's no public dormitory connected to a tavern, they will go nuts and they will be upset about it. So if you can, definitely give them somewhere to sleep. Because otherwise they will not be happy with you. Did they change world gens in the last 2 months? Nope. I mean, they tweaked like the powers that some of the necromancers have, so maybe that's what you're encountering in YouTube chat. But, or Syndicate in YouTube chat. But not to my knowledge. I mean, maybe. I'm sure Tarn's always messing with stuff here and there. I'm just gonna let them stock this up. Dwarves are getting bandages, etc. You right here. Actually, I can make a pedestal. And I can put that boot on a pedestal in there. You need to assign them to the tavern that they're allowed to visit. Or you can, if they ask to live in the fort, then you can assign them to bedrooms manually. Luganski. The other way you could do it if you want more general permissions is you could make a dormitory that's assigned to the tavern, and then your dwarves will also sleep in it. I mean, they'll do that anyway, but... What do you get? No angry visitors. So I have a question. What would you rather have? A visitor that tantrums and hurts your dwarves, or a visitor that just hangs out? Because you could also just not allow visitors, which is what I do, which might be a little bit counterproductive in some ways, but I don't have to deal with visitors being annoying and demanding things of me. So this needs to get dug up. And down here, we need to trade. I could try selling them. I could sell them some trained wild animals, I guess, but I don't really have anything I want to sell them at the moment. I think I'm actually just going to skip out on trading with these guys. Do they have anything good? Nothing that's really standing out. I'm just going to not bother. Is visitors wandering onto and then off the map with no public rooms in the fort still a thing? I mean, they're supposed to do that. So, yes. To my knowledge, it was never not a thing. Unless I'm missing something. Which is always possible. Wrong video game, Cornetto. Typical RimWorld degeneracy. Or goblin mentality is maybe a better way of putting it, actually. It's pretty goblin-y. Not that I've ever met a goblin, but I feel like a goblin would think that way. It's been a couple years yet, Daggett. I'll have you know your dwarf is a hero. You successfully poked 2 holes in this volcano and survived. So congrats. Oh shit, we're in an ad break. I thought it was just queuing up. Yeah, no. So that was reconfirmed, Vivid Nights. Essentially, like, for a long time, visitors wouldn't visit, period. And I think that there was some tweaks made so that, like, we're getting monster hunters again once you break into the caverns, because they're supposed to show up regardless of if you have public space. I feel like that was a bug that was fixed and not included in the patch notes, because that, or I've just been extremely lucky / unlucky recently and just not generated any worlds in recent memory that have had monster hunters in them, because it's been a very long time since I've just had monster hunters show up without me, like, specifically seeking them out. So that's my theory, is, like, they fixed a issue where now they're appearing again when they weren't for a long time, but it is hard to say. I do try to pause the game when ads hit, by the way. GeoBeetle. Yeah, I wasn't positive if it was intended or not, but I did get confirmation from Tarn, like, the day after I said that it was intended. It is possible. I've just had very low spawns for whatever reason or another. This is where we're going to put our siege weapons, or defensive siege weapons. I'm also going to put some more over here. Watch them just, like, dig up here and then break down through. Can they not? No, they can't reach that. Need stitches. I may just have too many construction jobs. See, I don't currently have a farmer's workshop. And fuck it, actually I will trade with these humans. Sell some bolts. I need some cloth and thread. What about Dwarven Vomit? They clean it up if it's an issue for them. There is no meta that I currently am aware of for Dwarf Fortress. Maybe, maybe not. I'm trying it, because I didn't try it in the last fort. Just because I'm doing something doesn't mean it's even remotely optimal. We won't know until I've done multiple attempts at that. If I have multiple attempts of it being successful, sure, it's a strategy that works. But I am not promising that anything that I'm doing is even remotely optimal whatsoever. It's like, mechanically, sure, I know how to play this game. Is it optimal? Eh. It's bold of you to assume that I have any idea whatsoever what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, I don't need anything else. Trade. No, the real dirty meta... Dirty meta? The real Dwarf Fortress meta is telling people a cool thing that happened in your fortress with lots of embellishment to get more people playing Dwarf Fortress and inflicting Dwarf Fortress on additional people. That's the meta. Like, we want to get down to it. Like, in reality, being legendary enough that you get a reference in a Diablo quest. That's how you know that you've succeeded at playing Dwarf Fort. Also, the dirty meta sounds like a R&B group, like the Dirty South. All right, let's make a siege workshop. And also a wood stockpile. I really need to just fucking delete these stockpiles and start over. Siege. There it is. Face veil. I'll satisfy this. Yes, acquire Vile Mug of Darkness and get Vile Mugged. That is the absolute peak Dwarf Fortress experience. I love how a Freudian slip is becoming a bit a Kenton. Needs a mobilization. Okay. Let's also go bolt, thrower, parts, wooden bin. Let's say 20 wooden bins, 20 bolt thrower parts, rock mechanisms, 20. Fuck it, we'll make them out of granite. For the wood. Looking for something with a good color. Let's just go with that. You right here. Don't be silly. No bins. Bins are banned in this stockpile. I mean, you can put the empty ones in there, but no bins. And then I need to make sure that I have a carpenter shop. Which I'm not certain I do, actually. Because I think I deconstructed it. This fortress is an embarrassment to all good dwarves, and I like. At least at the moment. Bins bad? No, I need them for bolt throwers, so I don't want items to end up in them so that I can make my bolt throwers, because they're part of the construction of bolt throwers. Bins are great. I love bins. Use them all the time for all kinds of things. And any negative bin propaganda is false and should not be believed. Unlike barrels. Barrels are awful. No, I'm joking. We've got more migrants. And they brought fucking animals. It's like, I want plenty of immigration. I don't want you to bring your goddamn named bunny rabbits, you assholes. You fucking... Why? Why would you do this? Pots are pretty, like, A+ S tier. I do agree with that. Ooh. I like the dwarf that worships sacrifice, believes that sacrifice to be the height of folly. Very conflicted dwarf. Poor memory? Oh, you'll be excellent because you won't get PTSD. It's easily move to mercy. Ooh. What is your name, dwarf? Votok the Thresher. Justus, not Votok. That's fun. You right there, you're a fishery worker. Gross. Any dwarf fish dealer's choice. Happiest dwarf that's unnamed you get. Be happy or complain later, where I can't see you. On Reddit, preferably, because I don't look there. You get the happiest dwarf in the fort who's currently sleeping, which is probably why they're the happiest dwarf in the fort. A Kenton. She has a pet ram, so she doesn't need to download more, and she feels best when everyone gets along without any strife or contention. She is very greedy, and she accepts favors without developing a sense of obligation, preferring to act as the current situation demands. She tends to assume that the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass, and she rarely feels discouraged. She tends to be a bit stubborn in changing her mind about things, and she has a calm demeanor. She is slow to trust others, as is her culture, and she is not inherently proud of her talents and accomplishments. I just realized I need to plug my phone in. Sorry, the ADHD kicked in for a moment. She tends to be a bit stubborn in changing her mind about things, and she has a calm demeanor. She is slow to trust others, and she is not inherently proud of her talents and accomplishments. And she's moved by art and natural beauty. You want a dwarf too? Save up 500 points and redeem it when it's up in 25 minutes. She dreams of mastering a skill, and personally sees cooperation as a low ideal indeed. Respects, and not worthy of any respect. Holds shrewd and crafty individuals to the lowest esteem, and values nature and values hard work. She likes slate, nickel, and pinfire opal, as well as feather wood, clear glass, and beak dog leather, and hemp fabric, and the color zesty green. Gems and anvils and turkeys for their waddle, and dimple cups for their soothing color. And the sound of the flowery skirts of impossible, of course she prefers to consume, snail. Sorry, snail. And banana beer. And absolutely hates toads. I think I'm actually going to put you in the military. But you're just going to be a Marksdwarf, so I'm just going to have a crossbow. I'm just going to remove this. Confirm, assign, archer, go here. Remove individual choice, go crossbows, and just say crossbow. Except I would like to use metal shields, metal helms, metal legwear, metal footwear, metal handwear, and metal armor. Yes, save. And save. Obviously, we're lacking in crossbows, but we're working on it. D-Dog, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Banana beer? I've had banana bread beer. I think it's really tasty, actually. Kind of tastes like fake bananas. In regards to banana bread beer. Or at least the one I've had. so you're my manager. I'm going to assign somebody else to mining on your behalf. Literally only one dwarf has died in this fort, so yes, you're still alive. Television. Just got a cute couple in a migrant wave. The most memorable couple I've had in a fort in a while, YouTube chat, Adrian specifically, was two gay dwarves. One of them was part of my previous fort and was married to a lady dwarf, but she died right at the very end of the fort, pretty violently, in fact. And so this dwarf found a second love and got married before migrating to my next fort. And the dwarf that he found love with also happened, like, was another male dwarf, right? But looked exactly the same as him, had exactly the same haircut and exactly the same skin tone and wore the same clothes. And they had the, like, matching colors and everything. And I laughed pretty hard. It's like, you lost your wife and found your clone. Are you anything cool? I mean, let's see. You're the expedition leader, so that's pretty cool. You're a very rusty, proficient mason. You want martial training and you want to pray. Dream of crafting a masterwork someday. You think some people are abjectly idiots. You do like a little excitement now and again. I might put you in the military. But, yeah, that's you for the moment. Speaking of abject idiocy, I did build this thing. Manager? The hell are you up to? Drinking. Okay, so that's fair. But, like, you're gonna go sleep first, right? I mean, I talk to my plants when I'm frustrated. Sometimes I, like, have, like, multi-stage conversations with my plants. Usually around 60, because if it's higher, chat has a hard time following, from what I can tell. Profane Doctrine is another temple I need to make. I should get day sight. I need to get that done and rebuild this. Some of this turned out okay. Yeah, but your pets are like, can at least like comprehend the fact that you're talking to them. My plants don't. Doesn't make me do it, but I mean, by do it I mean stop talk. Doesn't make me stop talking to them. Okay, so this is going to be the bypass for this area. Then up here, I'm gonna like wall off this area up here, and this is where I'm gonna build my housing, I think. Because I really like the idea of there being this above or semi-above ground, like in the mountain, like little city. Because I can have like exposed cavern moss and stuff up here, and I think I can make this look really fucking awesome. With the temples up here in this tower area. I think this will look kind of cool as hell, honestly. I don't even need to see them in time lapse. Like, I water them one morning, Vivid Nights, and then look at them again in the afternoon, and they pointed in a different direction. Like, you don't need to like look at a time lapse to see plants moving. I just see them move sometimes. Or like my lily, who like I will, if I forget to water either of my lilies for like hours even, if I'm like hours late on watering day, which is Friday, they'll like completely droop and like have a temper tantrum. And then like I water them and like 90 minutes later they're perked back up. Fuck you, mountain. Get out the way. Is that what you mean by Dwarven architecture? Get out the way, mountain. Get out the way. That's where we go. Okay, so speaking of now this is pod racing, because I'm going to go just in here and just go boop, 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 boop. Dwarves are complaining about lack of work. There's work. We have created jobs. Please thank me and elect me again next year. I mean, what? You here, let's just go 800, because I need blocks. Get to it, dwarfs. You right here, smelt. Smelt that hematite. Then make me... Oh, I don't have anything to make. I don't have charcoal. I don't want to make charcoal. Okay, whatever. Let's just make iron bars and, crossbows. Make 10 of them. Let's make 20 of them, actually. And, made adamantine crossbows. Iron crossbow. Iron helm. Iron shield. Iron mail shirt. Iron greaves. It's because I was misclicking, that's why, and not reading. We're also making those bolt thrower parts. Speaking of bolt thrower parts, let's see. Can I create some bolt throwers? By chance. Bolt thrower. Had a boop. Nope. Haven't made any of the mechanisms yet, that's why. Let's also just go mechanic. 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 Why is there a warthog snout right there? Sometimes you just gotta wonder these things. It's like, why is there a warthog snout? Like, who put that there? No steel industry yet? I just don't really feel like making charcoal right now. And for Mark stores, it doesn't matter so much. At least, not this early. I could start making charcoal, but I don't need to speedrun to steel industry. It's also like disabled chalk, actually. Stone use. Don't use chalk. Just use chalk to make charcoal when I do make steel. I'm more concerned about having steel weapons and steel bolts than steel armor and crossbows. Crossbows especially doesn't really matter. At least I don't particularly care. It does matter, I just don't particularly care. We've waited very long to actually get like the fort dysfunctional, so we need to like speed up production in almost every way possible right now. Do you not have a friggin' study? Oh, you've already done it. Now you've done it. I mean, what I am going to do here, actually, I think, is charcoal. I'll queue up charcoal. We'll just do 50 charcoal. And just make one... Actually, nope, don't have one yet. Make one wood burner shop. Or wood furnace. Which I'll plop down here. And once all that charcoal's made, then we'll get some steel going. But I'm not going to use it for everything. You hate not having coal or lignite? Never settle on a volcano, then. Okay, let's see if I can make some bolt throwers. Need empty bin. What? Oh, I see. I turned barrels off, not bins. I'm stupid. Keep barrels in this stockpile. Although, I do need a better kitchen, which I should also move. Maybe I should just move food production and storage up here so we can connect it to the farm. And the way I'm going to do this, well, it's from that side, but also from over here. So delete it from that bottom there. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. No, I kind of screwed that up. Oh well. Never had lava. I mean, it does take a... Well, I've had lava forges before I get my first migrant wave before. It just requires digging straight down. And then dodging the cavern layers. Which isn't a bad way to play, although I did accidentally dig too deeply and greedily once with 18 dwarves. That was pretty funny. I literally like got up and left and came back and there was a demon in my fort and everybody was dying. Fishbone, the gem cutter withdraws from society. I don't think I have a gem cutter shop, so I probably need to make one. And let's just go up here and just make a drink stockpile. Okay, let's see. Can I go here? Make you. Okay. Bolt thrower. Begin. I do wonder how much I should space these up. I can also go up to here and just do that. And this. And this is going to be for specifically bolts. Just bolts. And I'll allow 3 bins in here for now. And I'm going to go back down to here and say that the game's going to get paused in a moment because ads are coming. Remove bolts from the big central everything nonsense stockpile. There's an eye. I love just the eyeball over here. It's the prepared warthog eye. Oh, this game's silly. You wish you could reason with the demons? Yeah, I feel like they have good taste in music probably, right? You just like, the dwarves are just sitting there on their lute going boodaloo-doodaloo-doodaloo-doo, and then just like a demon walks by and it's like, Dracula! It's just like blasting Rob Zombie at full volume. All right, so Fishbone goes off and starts making a artifact, which grabs rough green zircons. 2 rough green zircons. And they're working secretly. They're gonna bash 2 diamonds together and create a slightly bigger diamond. I mean, zircon. I mean, I had a whole fort a while ago, earlier this year, Raptor, where I kept raiding these random temples that were scattered around the overworld that were all completely abandoned from what I could tell. Except they weren't actually abandoned. They were extremely well populated with slaves, or slaves of a mostly destroyed human faction that were all necromancer experiments. So I had a population of like 40 necromancer experiments in my fort at one point. It was genuinely cool. Urist, the Urist is what its name. Geobeetle. Dagger, the Dagger. Dagger, the Dagger of Daggers, actually, was what. Of course he is. SB Gremlin. Keep him far away from combat and he'll be great. They were tiny. Well, there was like 3 kinds of them. One of them was basically just like a big human from what I could tell. T-Dog. There were these tiny flying guys that looked kind of like vampire bats. And then there were these eyeless, faceless freaks that just like wore dwarven gear and acted like dwarves mostly. They were pretty good. It was a fun fort to run. And it knows invisibility, you're just fucked. I think you mean stealth. Stealth is a skill anybody can know and or learn. Unless like they've added an invisibility skill to the game, which that's news to me. But they do have a chance to just be stealthy. And stealth is something anybody can learn. Is there really a magic skill of invisibility? That's, I believe you, but I know that there's blindness. I don't think I've ever seen invisibility before. Learn something every day. Cool. It's so broken. It sounds like you just need to get good. Throw water on him. Watch water fall off of him. That would be like, that's the way I deal with invisible enemies in Caves of Cud, is just like throw liquids on them and watch them spread the liquids around on the ground and go, Like the troll in Caves of Cud. Shotgun and point it in what you think is the right direction. Blazing Iceberg. That was my strat for fighting that fight. They just kill you? Skill issue. I am sensing coping and skill issue. I'm sure I wouldn't get killed by it the 4th time. Maybe the 1st and 2nd. Fishbone, the gem cutter, has created Edutolatin Mividlightast, a perfect green zircon. Wait, so you bashed 2 together until you got 1 good one? It's like when you make a sharp rock in adventure mode. Let's see this perfect green gem. The gem of all gem is the gemmiest gem, and it is a perfect green zircon. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with gems. Surprise. I mean, emerald cut green zircons. Shocker. And this object is adorned with hanging rings of zircon. Pathetic. Doesn't have a single menacing spike. And T-Dog wants you to post Pierce chat. Well done, though. Jokes aside. Let's go back to... Let's use these chalk blocks because I'm not going to have unlimited of them, so they look nice. So I'll use the ones that I have while I have them. This is my favorite way to make above ground or structures for houses. Boom, house. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double house. Another house. And you might be like, but Blind, those aren't houses. How do you get in? Well, don't be silly. Gotta make some doors. And the game respects your material choices. All right, we'll let that do its thing. We'll get our first bedrooms up. Why, where, when, what, who, how? What? Okay, but like, did something must have caved in there? Oh, Jesus H. All right, well, I'm stupid. All right, well, we need drainage. Step 1. Let's just get rid of all this. I knew it was going to happen eventually. It was destined to happen. Now, I really wish I had some water. That'd be very helpful at the moment. I think my population has disappeared a little bit. Oh, that's good. The useless livestock's all dead. Because I was at 53, wasn't I? No. So I clicked and dragged too far and accidentally selected this to be dug. So basically what I need is I need a bridge. Okay. What I need is I need to deconstruct this. Then I need a bridge to How can I solve this? Okay, so actually, no, I got this. I got an idea. It's gonna keep overflowing for the moment. So I need to expel it somehow. I reckon you've sprung a leak. Yeah. That is factually correct. I cannot deny the fact that we have sprung a leak. Operation Fuck the World? Maybe? All right, well, I see 2 viable options here. I redirect it using cave-ins, which would be doable. Sort of. I see a viable way. I got an idea. Is this even accessible? Yes, it is. So I need a pump here and a pump here. I need a wall on either side. I need to then... Actually, no, not quite a wall. I need a entry pathway along here to here. then over to here. Well, let's deconstruct that for now. To there. And then I need a pump here and a pump here, which will stop this from flowing. I can then redirect it somewhere else. And while it's redirected, I should be able to sneak around the back of it. And Vivid died. So some pig. Where are we digging? Where are you going to go dig, Zaprozin? Well, that's been dug out. Don't need this done. Some burrows might be a good idea right now. No, burrows are for cowards. You are right. Some burrows might be good right now. But burrows are for cowards. I stand by my statement. Real question is, what the fuck are we digging at the moment? Oh, like fucking nothing. Yeah, there you go. I do have a drawbridge that I can lock to stop this from flooding the fort, so there is that. Dwarf, you are making me exceptionally nervous. Let's also just go slab. This is my classic, like, burrows are for smart people, and I'm not a smart person. I'm in a hurry. I'm a Eurist in a hurry. Come on, Dwarf. Get out of the way. Actually, I'm gonna... Wink. And... yoink. Maybe. Go to the other side, you moron! Or don't. Fine, don't listen to me. I don't care. I don't make the rules. You do, apparently. Let's go over there. Whew! Hi. Come on. We got this. Hallelujah. Let's also go down here and go pen pasture. Everything that didn't die, lol. Vivid Nights. No, you did. And for future reference, if you die, please give it to somebody else. Pigid Nights. She is rarely happy or enthusiastic, and she is conflicted by this because she knows she's going to become bacon eventually. And she values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. She has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others. And she doesn't try to get things done perfectly. She is brave in the face of imminent danger, and she does not often feel lustful. She doesn't cling tightly to ideas and is open to changing her mind. And she has a tendency towards forming deep and emotional bonds with others. She's somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from herself, and she often is nervous. She is pleased by her own appearance and talents, and she tends to share her own experience and thoughts with others. But yeah, for future reference, let other people who haven't had a dwarf yet grab it. Or wait until the following day and then grab a dwarf anyway. Oh, this is mildly horrifying. Good news is, got those ready. That's not the good news. Bad news is I spent way too much time building these initial bedrooms, and you know what? Damn it, we're gonna finish them. T-Dog's been missing for a week. God dang it. Okay, hold up. T-Dog. And tourist. And Akar. And Slab. And Vivid. There we go. That'll be everybody. Ah! Get the animals. Get the livestock. Go the other way. There you go. Well, that was nerve-wracking. No, 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 no. Well, I can't stop you from being a moron. Oh, I see why. It's because there's no actual way to where they're trying to go on this side. Oh no. You're stressing me out there, Dwarf. Fuck it. I didn't want to do this, but gotta do it. Gotta do the thing that's actually high priority right now. Not the entire surface, but it is flooding. Saying burning the entire surface is a gross exaggeration and a mischaracterization of the current disaster. I demand, I don't know, an admittance of something. Payment for this slander. There we go. In the format of a like on the YouTube stream or a subscription to the YouTube channel or following the Twitch channel, maybe? That do. I don't ask for much. Just $1 million. I mean...
Congrats on 12 years.
Thanks, man. I'm also just babbling. Flavabox! Thanks for how to stay subscribed to a channel 101. I've always wanted to say that. You're the first person to pop that, by the way. It's a holy shit to that. Well, then you've already done your part, GeoBeetle. Appreciate it. It is the longest possible subscription that you could have to my channel, and Flavorbox was the first person to subscribe to my channel before I even noticed that I had a sub button. Like, I knew that it was coming because I'd filled out all the paperwork to do it, but it just hadn't appeared yet. And Flava was the first person to activate it. So yeah. 101 months. I'm literally racing the lava, yes. You know, we could get sieged right now and we'd be like, all right, figure it out, because we have it. Uh-oh. No. No! The Daggett was found dead. Or missing. Found dead? Oh, man. So busy paying attention to other things, I forgot to give him a traction bench. Well, that's an absolute fucking tragedy. What the fuck am I gonna do with your body, though? I think I'm going to put them in a coffin right there. I'm going to make a iron coffin. Make one of them. It'll be glorious. You're still not salty about that? Are you more or less still not salty about that than you are still not salty about me streaming Zeus? Anyways, chat, remember, I'm an expert at this game and I know what I'm doing. God damn it! That's a pain in the ass. So, the way the dwarves are getting in and out of the fort is they're running along the top of the wall. It's kind of amazing, actually. At least we have these walls. I'm not even sure what they're hauling. Mostly
Here you
logs.
go as recompense instead.
Let's just get rid of these. GeoBeetle! Thanks for 2 months. Appreciate you. That is true. It could still happen. Speaking of things that could happen, this fortress could still survive somehow. Possibly. Oh my fuck. Okay, let's just pause every single not completely necessary task. I've got to accelerate the priority here. Thanks for the $1, shopkeep.
What a time to tune in Crypt FUN.
Yep. I mean, it was bound to happen eventually with the way I've been digging, so... Also, that's a hype train, apparently. Needs 4 subscriptions or $18 in bits to level up. Thanks, chat. Bubble Page, thank you very much for the 33rd month as well. Okay. Come on, 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 come on. This is draining, though, so that is the good sign. So the other thing I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to dig all the way down to like here. And then all the way up to like here. Oops. Okay, one piece at a time. So I will suspend this until we need to get rid of it. Okay, so what I will do is scream from the high heavens. We got problems, guys. No trading. No trading this time. Fortress is not open for business at the moment. I don't know why there's random burning shit over here, but there's random burning shit over there. I also just saw a dwarf run into the lava. So, you know, that's always a good sign. Later, Ann, thank you very much for the gifts. I need it. I love it when Dwarf Fortress just becomes a chaotic triage. It's like just, what happened? I don't know, It's like incomprehensible screaming, which induces more incomprehensible screaming. I don't think incomprehensible is a word. Incomprehensible. Yeah, that'll work. And then I can actually... Ooh, I have no water access. Shit. What? Actually, no, maybe I do. Doopy-doopy-doopy-doo. Hey, we do. Okay, so hold up. This is not going to be a water source, which... Nope, that's a pit pond. I'm a dum-dum. This is going to be a water source. And, I should be able to build a well. Okay, apparently I don't have any buckets. Let's just go and type in wooden bucket. And just make some buckets for me, please. Okay, so now I should be able to go here and do this. And then moments later, I should be able to build this. And then I just needed 2 extremely fucking brave dwarves to just stand here and pump lava down into there. And I'm going to try and just boost it off the map. So it's going to go down here. Actually, why don't I make this one layer higher up? Let's go. There you go. Perfect. The problem is this is going to be the only way in and out of the fort in a moment. So the dwarves may actually try and use it as a way in and out of the fort. All right. Is it really on the elevation 69? Are you for real? Can I? That's funny. All right, hype train is at level 3. Thank you very much, Letteran, for those gifts. It needs an additional 3 subscriptions, could be primes or resubs to level up. But regardless, thanks for being generous, chat. Let's unforbid that. Elfie Bean, thanks for the raid. Do not mind the lava spill or the fact that the fortress is currently filling up with lava. We are fine, and anybody who says otherwise is lying or otherwise not telling the whole truth of everything. I deny all wrongdoing, and all of this was done strictly by accident. Turns out the siege is worth the strongest thing. It was my own lack of caution. Who's surprised? Not me. Uh-oh. 2 more dwarves are found missing for a week. Shocker. Let's just fly down to here. Elfie Bean and Raiders, hello. And, Jerkozo? Jerkozo. Thanks for the Prime sub. Tony, thanks for the 3-pack. That's very kind of you. All right, let's, now that we've flown down here, let's, see, do I have a, yeah, gosh. Let's, okay, we did make some slabs. So let's say Stukos. Whoops. Stukos. Who was the other one? Irvad? Yeah, about that. I feel really bad for my traders at the moment. You know, Chad always jokes about me pulling a boat murdered. This is about the closest thing to pulling a boat murdered that I've done in a very long time. Now I just need one more pump. Meanwhile, things could be worse. They're trying to do diplomacy. I'm your liaison from the Outlobes. Let's discuss your situation. There's much. I would also like to discuss my situation. Thanks. I don't know. Bring me fucking wood or something. I'm very proud of you, Tubby Lord. That is no small feat. It's a 10-layer deep feat, in fact. Okay, so all the way down to here. As the trapper's been missing for a week. And yes, you're probably right. It would absolutely be the smart decision to simply, you know, build a burrow, but I also kind of also stand by my stupid statement of burrows are for cowards. Why are you resting? Crutch required? Do I have a crutch in here? 3. Yes, you should bring crutch. There we go. Trader's bringing a crutch. Look at that. Yourst Games, thanks for the raid as well. Nothing is going wrong and the surface is not burning. Do not mind. I swear that the surface is not burning. It is not my fault. None of this is truthful, but you'll never know the difference. Hope that your stream was good. What were you up to today? How many picks do I have within reach? As many as I can make out of iron. I got lots of iron. I should make some more iron, actually. Because a bunch of my miners have died. Valiantly attempting to solve this oopsies. Okay, I can't quite pump this yet. It's going to go down to here. So this needs to extend after that to right there. And this needs this, this, and this. We also need this. Iron pick. Let's make 10 of them. That's fine. One wooden block in there won't hurt. Okay. Looking for tasks that aren't super important to me right now, like trappers, animal trainers, hunter. Okay, woodcrafter it is. Hey, we're actually getting some negative moods. Weird. I'm gonna have to make a grand memorial in a minute. Chat room, thank you very much for that hype train. It's very, very kind of you. Okay, so we got the gift right there. Dag it. So that coffin will get placed there, and you'll get a prime spot in the center of the tavern for the rest of ever. And you'll stop stinking up the hallway now. Okay, so up here needs this, and this. And now I just need this done. I don't actually know what you're doing out here, Dwarf. Aside from probably not being able to get back into the fort. I don't really want to just do this, but maybe I should make a secondary way in. Although, no. Let's just work on this. There you go. That's what I need. We're getting there, chat. Lolar was missing for a week. I don't know, you did live here for like 3-4 years. Ghost Bat, by the way, hello. What could be causing that? Jeez, I have no idea, Tubby. What do you think could be causing that? The corpse in the hallway? Nah. Although the fact that they're like as happy as they are is like kind of a miracle as far as I'm concerned. Because like they have no bedrooms. I'm ignoring all their like guild hall requests mostly. So we're a little busy. By all accounts, I think like these dwarves have it better than they realize. Like they think they're kind of fucked right now, but like it could be so much worse, let me tell you. I mean, that's not to say it's good. This is a solvable issue, I think. Now we get to find out if it works. So it goes down to here, open space down to there, and all the way down to here, and then down into here, and then, okay, well this I can get rid of. Then down into here, and then all the way out this way. So let's get this pumping. For fuck's sake. Can't you see that the fort's on fire right now? We're a little busy. Okay, now that all this is done, I can unsuspend the other jobs, though. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not entirely sure where these buildings are, so I'm just going to deconstruct them. Because they may be in danger areas. Okay, we got 2 dwarves coming to operate pumps. Sorry, Ilmirin, about your lover. That's a shame. Alright, let's see how this goes. Are you for real? Okay, I need to deconstruct these stairs. This might be one of the sketchiest things I've ever done. We're in an ad break. Let's just make sure lava's going where it needs to go. It is. These stairs are in such an awkward spot. I mean, we did just get a migrant wave, Alan, so it's a little bit deceptive. I think we've lost about 10. I think. Must be a lack of mugs. Oddly enough, we don't have a lack of mugs. Like, of all the problems this fortress currently has, mostly in the fact that it's on fire. What's the plan here? So this is the entry point for the lava where it's all dripping down into the fort. If I can remove the majority of this, I should be able to build a wall right here and then build a wall right here, which will stop all of the leakage. But I do need to be pumping out faster than it's draining. I may also be able to take a bucket of water and dump buckets of water right here. Like, say, set this as a pit pond and to fill it. If I have free buckets, that could also help slow down the flow. In fact, I should make 2 of these. But I am venting lava down onto the map on the surface. Okay, so now we're pumping it all up, as you can see. So now I can try and place a singular block right here, which they're trying to construct now, which is now complete. Now this one is doing all of the pumping. These dwarves, Television, and Ilmirin are absolute fucking heroes at the moment. When there's no lava there, I can place another block piece. And now we wait. They just have to finish. The final tick for the construction has to happen right when there's no lava there, or this will all break. We're also using, what's it called? Water to start dealing with the extra lava that comes out. Partially constructed, almost, there we go, done. We got lucky, twice in a row. Beast. Absolute beast mode. And that's it. Problem solved. I wonder if those dwarves can even get into the fort. I don't actually know if they can. I kind of doubt it, because, like, that's the front door. It's a little warm. There's just, like, a dwarf hanging out right here. It's just like, guys, let me in. Ah. Speaking of, these are my traders. I feel like what I'm going to do is this. Zzz. Zzz. Maybe, actually, there. I need a side door. Like Stataroonies. Because the good news is, it's no longer continuing to... I mean, it's still pretty full. It's no longer continuing to fill, so... I should probably memorialize that dwarf. Yeah, this was the... This +1 was the total casualty count. Which, honestly, that's pretty good. All things considered. Which one of you morons is pulling the lever? There we go. Okay, so now we can do that. We can dig this out. And then I'm just going to construct a ramp right here and let these dwarves out. And look, it's already slowing. It's already starting to clear. It doesn't dry into rocks. Just soot and charcoal. It would be cool if it dried into boulders, but it doesn't. Now they can get in and out of the fortress, taking this route. Skimming along the top of the walls. Alright, chat. That was, intense. Yeah. The profane doctrine, eh? Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Sorry, I'm like sweating. I'm kind of like a little stressed out at the moment. Is this bit in the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy? Or the guy just keeps saying, ay, 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 ay. And that's how I feel at the moment. It's like I'm currently channeling that energy. Shady Shopkeep. One of the migrants. Okay. I will see if I can get you a recent addition to the fort. It's probably one of the middle mood ones. Do you care about beard? Shopkeep. Actually, Shopkeep. Your name is Shopkeep. I feel like you'd be a broker. Maybe it's time for a specific broker. Do you want a beard or no beard? First time that's happened to you on stream. At least I think you've probably done something cool. I just haven't verbally stated it when you happen to be here. This is Dwarf fine? Yes. No, this is very Urist. Jim Barbosa in YouTube chat. Ironically, it'll be fine pretty quick now. You're beard agnostic. Okay, well, let's go with... I need somebody with appraisal. I'll go with Aiden. Speaking of, my bookkeeper has been elected mayor. Well, that's nifty. It means I already have an office. I feel like we should have had a mayor sooner based on the fact that, like, the previous fortress management kind of flooded it. At least I don't need to take credit for it now. Shady Shopkeep. Jotha neglects her own well-being, having no interest in material goods. She can get caught up in internal deliberation when action is necessary, and doesn't tend to hold on to grievances. She's quick to anger, and she tends to not reveal personal information. She often feels envious of others, and she finds obligations come behind, though she is conflicted by this for more than one reason. She is not particularly interested in what others think of her, and she tends to be swayed by emotions of others. She is quite ambitious. She snaps her fingers when she's greeting somebody, and she needs alcohol to get through the working day, and is a hardened individual. She dreams of mastering a skill and personally finds blind honesty foolish. She likes graphite and pig iron and blue diamond, giant impala hoofs, the gray gibbon parchment, circles and millstones and amulets, and the words of the aquamarine of luxuries, and when possible prefers to consume squid, parsnip, and wine and pears. She absolutely hates snails. your best friend, one of your highest friend is dead. So, welcome to the fort, shopkeep. Finger guns, exactly. At least, honestly, I do have to say Daggett does have maybe the most honorable coffin I've put in a fort in a long time. I mean, look at this thing. Shoutouts to this dwarf who's shady, by the way, who's literally eating a giant ostrich eyeball. Just, you know, munching on an apple, as dwarves do. Okay, well, at least this is all clearing up nice and quick-ish. Crunch. Don't thank me, please. Okay. Honestly, I think, like, all the constructions of this fort are just entirely my fault, purely based on the fact that, like, I've been trying to do way too many things at once in this fort. So I'm kind of not surprised that stuff collapsed like this. Okay, so I accepted that temple, I think. Yeah, this is not even remotely symmetrical. Not that I wanted it to be or anything. I kind of did, but oh well. I will fix it as I go. This can be a temple to the profane doctrine. They worship the same god as the other religion, but it's just a different denomination. Thanks for the $4.99, Adam Place. You ended up getting the po' boy for lunch. There you go. You had to go focus on work for the rest of the day. Hope it was a good po' boy. Happy to help, mate. And thanks for the super chats. Well, a bit earlier than planned. That wasn't like, you know, it wasn't intended to take off so suddenly and quickly. The initial vision was like a slower build-up, but... I still kind of want to make Lava Venice. Just because, like, the words Lava Venice sound probably way cooler than they actually are. It's probably actually pretty sweaty, but... Volcano Venice is like the sequel to Pompeii that nobody deserves. What, Volcano Venice? Just Venice, but like volcanic? Save the game? Sure, after I finish these building tasks. Just give me a sec. Quick save, like quick maths. Still going, yes. Pretty cool seeing the dwarves man the lava pumps here. Might be a little hot. I'm sure the dwarves' beards provide natural insulation. Same with their dense body hair, so they can handle quite high heat. It's like hobbits' feet and their lack of shoes. Okay, so let's go here. Just throw blocks in. Okay, so now that I've built the floor, I'm going to go into here and hit this tool, and then I'm going to go paintbrush and just go dit 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 dit. Okay, and then I'm going to go dit dit and then dit, and to me that'll be the symbol of this. And so I did all that in this stuff. So let's swap to a different material and go through here and go, how many blocks do I need? Block. Ooh, I know what I can do. Salt. And go around the edge of this and salt. And then those last few, it's gonna be schist. This one can now be expanded, which will increase its value. And now I've just got a whole bunch of holes in this roof, but that's fine. Because I'm going to go up to here, and I'm going to dig all this out. And I'm going to build this up one, and this is going to be where all the bodies are going to go. You want to make a Venice pumice? Venice pumice? Like as in a pun? Or are you actually talking about hummus? When the pun is so deep, streamer doesn't get it. What's up, anti-capitalist pig in the YouTube chat? I'm not insulting them. They named themselves that. It was self-inflicted. It's gotta be like a self-flagellation fetish or something. I respect it. Anyway, hi. What's up? As a fellow, so somebody in my YouTube comments once called me a woke liberal bastard because I referred to a dwarf as they in a short, which was really funny because when I first saw that comment, it took me like 90 seconds to actually figure out what the fuck they were talking about because like, that's just such a silly thing to say. Anyway, when I saw it, I after finishing laughing my ass off, I went and set it as my blue sky tag. So it's like in my profile. Because I thought it was really funny. Let's do 10 iron statues and iron altars, but 2 of those. So if you follow me on Blue Sky, congratulations, you're following a woke liberal bastard. Or liberal woke bastard. I actually can't remember what order it's in. I literally copy-pasted their statement. Yeah, liberal woke bastard. Very funny to me. Thanks for the gift, Reno Anonymous. People tend to take how people speak as personal. I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny. Like, imagine watching a Dwarf Fortress short on YouTube and getting that mad at it. It's actually just kind of sad. All right, so I need to recognize a priest for this temple, which is the Holy Cradle. Holy Cradle, Fishbone. Not to be confused with Vishbone. Fishbone. Then this up here. First and dwarfmost. It's going to be filled in with floors. And this is going to be a statue garden, a place of rest and refuge, and where our dead lie. Because it's pretty hard for them to tell the truth because they're dead. Once you slip into the turbo nerd spectrum of nerddom, it's woke. Well, I mean, intelligent people are either, oof, this is a hot take. Please don't kill me, chat. Intelligent people, if they are right-leaning, are doing it maliciously. Intelligent people tend to be left-leaning if they have any sense of morals. And if you're playing Dwarf for it, you're clearly an intelligent person. Someone's gonna seek that out and nuke me in the comments on that one. Or at the very least, understand the values of left-leaning policies, enough to not call someone a woke liberal bastard unprompted for no reason because of using a word that they've been told by Fox News is not, I don't know, whatever the fuck. I'm being requested to the front of my building, probably because of the woke police, but actually, no, I've got an Amazon package I gotta grab. So I will be back in the momente. You are correct. I was in fact muted. Good call. Let's do that as a pit pond. Let's do this as a pit pond. Okay. When he turns the mic back on, the muted comments will soon be muted when he turns the mic back on. Correct, yes. I mean, I've kind of forgot that I muted the microphone because I did kind of like run down 3 flights of stairs and then run back up 3 flights of stairs. So there is that. How that? Actually, I'll be back in a sec. One moment, chat. Yeah, we had Noopsy. Her mustache. All right, since I seem to be sort of committing to this bit of like never actually making bedrooms for these dwarves, I've got a really dumb idea for a project. But first, let's just get these dwarves memorialized, which is up here. Here's my idea. I can go to the outside of that volcano and start building a wall around it. And what I'm going to do once I've built a wall around it is I'm going to then build a layer of walls around it, and then build stairs up, and then build a layer of walls around it after building floors, and then build walls around it, and then build walls around it, and build walls around it. And then I could just chop the top of it off, and then, like, just build a big-ass reservoir around the edge of the volcano at the top. Wood being imported? Oh, there's fuck tons of wood in this map. Wood is not an issue. Like, there's tons of wood. Ghosts, on the other hand, rapidly growing sudden surprise population. Thankfully, I have plenty of dwarves that can be memorialized right away. That actually wasn't that bad of a death toll, all things considered. Like, that could have gone so much worse. It's barely a footnotes in this fortress's history. What, all of those deaths? Oh yeah, no. I mean, the last fort had like 90 tombs or something. Yeah, one ghost theme series was enough. I've done those twice, by the way. But I only made one video out of it. Let's just do that. Actually, let's also get rid of this. You're not used to them yet? It's been out for so long, though. That's one of the reasons, Silver She, why I've started just going from up above and then just dropping a layer of floor, and then that exposes all the lava so you can dig around it safely. Kib the Clother withdraws from society. Like, honestly, like, just dropping stuff on the problem has become my go-to method. They claim a clothes shop. We've got an ad break. So I will not unpause the game until the ad break is done, but I'll designate as much of this as I can. Okay. Clip of what? I mean, if you want to clip something, clip it. Class. A 44 after a visit from such a titan. Raptor Baptor, I had a fort called Stonewater a long time ago, where I had 120-something dwarves. We got attacked by a fire-breathing, like stone titan that was made out of very dense stone, and I didn't have any ranged dwarves at the time, and it killed, it took my population down to 20, and then we recovered it completely within a couple of years. Also, YouTube, I wouldn't just mute you guys, because why would I keep secrets from my second favorite chat? That would be called favoritism, and that would be ruder than I normally am. How dare I? What a calamity! I actually don't have the ability to only mute one feed, so... Vivid has been laid to rest. Vividly. Well earned, Vivid. For things like Adamantine to be less on rails. You know, I feel this way about Adamantine. You know how there's like those little tiny pockets of like, you know, just diamonds with like items in them randomly scattered around? I kind of wish that half of those were just like a little cube of adamantine, sort of like how sometimes you find rare deposits of like platinum and stuff. I would really like there to just be the occasional rare deposit of adamantine just scattered around the map. I think that would be really cool. I call them Kinder Surprise eggs. I don't know what they're called. I saw one person call them that once and thought it was funny, so that's what I call them. All right, let's go make housing for some of these dwarves. Because some of these dwarves, not all dwarves, some of these dwarves have earned housing. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time and actually make these dwarves some houses. Let's go floor, 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 floor all the way along there. That can be dug out a little bit. Floor into here, floor into there, floor into there, floor into there. Let them work on that a little bit. Because the Dwarven roads cut right through them, and you'll be traveling along and get a message to check for heat. What devilry is this? I mean, that is true. What devilry is that? The fact that lava made it all the way down here, I find a little bit distressing. Also going to deconstruct. Oop, nope, not that. Going to deconstruct this. replace that with a different material. Okay, so you do that. I need leather quivers. Let's do 10 of those, and I will throw... I kind of want to just... Ooh. I should move my farming up here. Maybe just my clothing industry. Like, let's throw a leather shop over here. Maybe a second one. See if I can start blocking all of this in. Diorite, maybe? So, for some reason, my brain keeps telling me to make the outer walls reinforced walls. Having thought about it a little bit off stream recently, I think the way may actually be to make the inner walls the reinforced walls, because you can repair them and update them after the fact. And also because then you can see when the baddies are coming for them clearer, because you have them on the inside, so you have better vision of where they are. Oh no, just seems wise to me. Tele, hello. Some idiot named Shadow who shadowed all over something, probably. She would like to join the fortress as an adventurer. She's got a book called The Records of Auras, The Secret of the Elf, and Discovering Competition, is wearing a bunch of goblin clothing. Has killed a bunch of goblins in Tomb Squeeze. You know what, why not? Join and eradicate monster. Good luck. Don't know how you will do that, but good luck. Just fly all the way back up to here. Go day sight. Nope, that's diorite. Should be enough to finish this up. Let's go, you guys. Stuff. I think that's all I've got. Nope, still got a little bit more. I misclicked, I guess. That was definitely a misclick. There we go, now we're out. Well, let's let them work on that. Been playing DS and listening to the stream, got focused. Did we just resolve the lava leak? Yes, we did. And also, yes, Tele. Did solve the minor leakage issue. It was very minor. Nothing to be too panicked about. Just a little bit panicked. Maybe a little lot. Nothing to be too panicked about, once again. Like I said. Please pay no regard to all of the smoldering messes on the front lawn. Thankfully, dwarves don't have HOAs, so we don't need to worry about the neighbors complaining. They may attack us, though. As much as the elves would like us to have HOAs, we just don't listen. And honestly, it makes life a lot easier for us. Got it. Expert Marksdorf? Well, that's wild. Just for dwarves that are a little bit better at this. Set them to no orders. Update their equipment. I kind of disagree with that. I think they're very valuable trading companions, especially early on in the game. They can provide the fortress with some extremely large animals, and they are the easiest to trade with if you simply purchase a few of their cages early on, and then sell them your livestock in return. Very easy way of getting rid of unwanted livestock, and in response getting bigger livestock that are hard for dwarves to find normally, such as giant elephants and giant grizzly bears. However, once you've acquired an appropriate amount of livestock from the elves, then at that point go nuts with the antagonizing. But at least in the very early game, I do think it is valuable to trade with them. Because any dwarf understands that business is above combat. But, you know, if they begin insulting you, then at that point you operate under your own prerogative. Can you be a militia dwarf? I can't guarantee you'll stay in the militia, but sure. Beard or no beard? Tubby? $37 trees a year is very manageable. Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's only harsh on like the Untamed Wilds maps because like they do give you kind of a huge allowance. It's like if you are a pathetic, weak, childish, baby-like, beardless enough dwarf to not be able to acquire lava for the vast majority of your fuel, 37 trees a year is more than enough to have a good steel industry. Far more than enough. Like, no proper dwarf is ever going to need more than that. Beard, please, Cat. I have no idea if this dwarf will be any good at it, but it's what you're getting. Tubby! Doesn't generally think before acting. Shoots first, asks questions later, I suppose. He forms only fleeting and rare emotional bonds with others and feels strong feelings. And feels strong urges and seeks short-term rewards. He is easily moved to mercy, and he has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications. He is quite polite, and he generally is quite confident in his abilities when undertaking specific ventures. He has an active imagination, and he's quick to anger, and he tends to make a small mess with his own possessions. He is quite ambitious, and he takes offered helping gifts without feeling particularly grateful. And he has a greedy streak. He is very humble. He personally sees the attainment and preservation of knowledge as an offensive enterprise engaged by arrogant fools. He does not respect the law and dreams of crafting a masterwork someday. Honestly, I think this dwarf could be a very successful politician. He likes gypsum plaster and lay pewter, as well as wood opal and giant rat bone, just like himself. And the color azure, I'm being mean, and guinea fowls for their social nature, and giant albatrosses for their large wings. And when possible, he prefers to consume Wolverine, the X-Men, and spotted ratfish. That's some weird fan fiction about Wolverine, eh? He likes pig cheese, asparagus, and single grain wheat beer, and absolutely hates snails. I like asparagus. Asparagus is so good. Didn't catch as much as you would like. Tungdill? I mean, there was a little bit of a calamity briefly, but we've seemed to have mostly sorted it out at this point. We had a bit of a spill, which is why there's lava in places it's not supposed to be at the moment. But aside from the little spill, it's been pretty good. Just trying to get some beds made, or bedrooms made, I guess, not just the beds. The first beds in the fort on year 3. That's not a record for me, but it's up there. All right, Mayor's gonna be the first bedded one. There's a joke in there somewhere. Let's put you in there, Zet, because you're upset. Let's put glass half empty in there. Let's put the Chief Medi Dwarfy. Who else deserves a bed? Snail, you can have a bed. Elf, you can have a bed. Shady Shopkeep can have a bed. They bribed their way because they're shady. And Swifty, you can have a bed. What is this? Does it stay set or die? Right. Stay right. Let's go up here. These goblins are going to be drooling over how exposed these walls are, but they ideally won't be able to reach them right away. Eventually, probably, but... there wasn't a second spill, no. Unless there's a first spill that I'm forgetting? But no, there was only one spill. We sorted it out with about, like, less than an hour ago. So I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to. Or what you think you've missed. Also armoring up the upper hillside. Which I'm most certain-ish will make this look cooler. As well as securer. No, that's from the initial spill. It was spilling down both sides. Yeah, there's no double spills. You gotta pay extra for that, Vivid. Oh yeah, you're not wrong. We did overpump the lava a wee bit, didn't we? So yeah, I guess there technically was 2 spills. I mean, one of them was just a wee spill, and then the other one was a fucking the second one was a fucking calamity and a half, so... That could have, like, gone way worse than it did, so we were very fortunate that it didn't go worse. Okay. Let's just go up to here. Well, I'm not super surprised that happened. Kaya, you good? Oh, wait, what? Magma crab? Where'd the magma crab come from? The volcano, I presume, but like, it's just like, there's just this dwarf lands here and there's magma crab chitin. What? What's up, Infinity? How was you? But yes, you must have tagged along with the Elfie raid. How you doing, Infinity? How's things? All right, let's go back to where I was with the thing that I was doing. So now, well, not quite, but I need to take this back a little bit more. Now what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to look at these and actually adjust them all simultaneously. Also, I desperately need more hematite. Okay, I need to go mine more iron. I know that there's iron in places, I just need to find it. Like, let's say maybe in here, but maybe not. Okay, so there's literally just magma crabs down in there. Guess I could just mine out this whole layer and see if I find more. Because there's some right there, but I kind of want to keep it as decoration. Oh, there's a little bit. Should probably just go back to channeling all this out from up here, but now I'm tempting fate again, so. Let's go right here. So now there's kind of an issue in the fort, which is this. Need to dig through this and fill this in. With blocks. Get it sorted out and be safer. And now I have my new favorite menu in the game, chat. So places, siege engines. I love this. This is so nice. I'm not gonna lie, this might be one of the greatest things I've ever seen in this game. I know it's such a small thing, but my God. The other thing I need to do is I need to go labor standing orders. Other this. Okay, that's good. Set to nothing as it should be. You down here. No bolts. Exactly. It's a menu that lets me load or unload all of these bolt throwers or catapults or whatever other weapons of defense that I have in the fort. And then those bolt throwers and catapults and other things can all be enabled and disabled simultaneously instead of having to click on every single one individually and click on one of these tiny little buttons. It's great. You really have to learn to love the little things in life in Dwarf Fort. And thank you, Marlon Bastos in the YouTube chat. Assuming you're talking about me, it's very self-absorbed of me to assume that you are. Let's unforbid that. Let's unforbid that. Take a peek around. Take a look around. Get rid of that because I don't need it. Instead, do this. So you should be able to get up there from over here. Just going to continue filling in these walls a little bit. Let's just go up here. Go RH. RH. That. 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 Throw in some floors. It's nearly 3 a.m., not 7, so you can still go zzz. Well, you should go zzz. Go snooze. Let's get rid of these iron statues and these iron picks, because apparently I've run out of iron. Which admittedly is a little bit of a bother, but it's okay. I can get to the actual intended goal for this fort. Oopsies, don't auto me. Let's hope we find some more iron down here. Show up in the first 45 minutes of the stream and you'll find out. Wretched. It's kind of an early bird thing. Because I stream music at the beginning of every stream. And if you show up right at the beginning of the stream, I have a record player and I put ducks on it. But in order for that to be even remotely relevant, you literally have to get here right at the very beginning of the stream. So much construction. If they fall into them, yes. But it's pretty unlikely. I have so little ammo at the moment. I'm actually just going to go places, siege engines, and just shut all these off for the moment. Because I don't have enough bolts to load them all, so it's irrelevant. To leave all those jobs trying and failing. Best off just getting related areas dug out. Except I do kind of want to leave a chunk like this. And you did get the space quack. I'm also going to go up to here real quick. I'll plop down a couple statues. A jumping spider, you love to see it. Oh no! Failed an artifact. Just too distracted. I take full responsibility for that failure. I could do better, and I didn't. Anonymous, thanks for checking out a gift. Appreciate it. Now, chat, do you guys think that Anonymous did that intentionally? Gifting a sub to don't say my name, so I was supposed to not say their name? Or do you think that was like a genuine random gift? I think that was intentional, you know? Yeah, they have a huge deal right now over on, I mean, it is Black Friday, I suppose. Over on the KitFox merch store. No, not the KitFox, Fangamer. Fangamer's doing Black Friday stuff. Because I guess that's right now? I don't actually know. As you can tell, I pay a lot of attention to when Black Friday is happening. I am a very loyal consumptioner. Do the fort have big numbers saying time since last lava spill? I mean, maybe, but no. We're in an ad break, hold up. I mean, it's been one season since the last lava spill. Hey. Are you kidding? By the time you die, Black Friday is going to be a automated AI that determines that you have enough income from your last paycheck by watching your bank account that you can consume and purchase more stuff. And so instead of purchasing things that you like, you simply purchase things for the consumption of them. And so instead of like purchasing like a pop figure or a collectible or a Beyblade like normal people would, you're instead just going to go into a store and you're going to buy like gelatinous cubes that look somewhat product-like just for the thrill of purchasing thing. And you may not even go into a store. You might just click a button a couple times and it'll be shipped to your house. When it arrives, you will look at it for 10 seconds, go, consumption, and then put it in the garburator. That's going to be the world by the time you die. Don't give them ideas. I'm not. I'm actually just like mostly referencing a movie that George Lucas made, which I'm blanking on the name of now. Does that not hurt your FPS? My FPS is in a flat 60, which is what it's capped at, so no. It might hurt your FPS, but it doesn't hurt mine. No, it wasn't American Graffiti. It was some... Oh, hold on. Let me just go look at George Lucas's filmography. I'll tell you in about 10 seconds here. George Lucas. THX1138. That's why I didn't remember the name of it. It's a 1971 social science fiction film, co-written and directed by George Lucas. It's his feature directorial debut. What's the, like... In the dystopian future... oh boy, here we go. In the dystopian future, sexual intercourse, reproduction are prohibited, and mind-altering drugs are mandatory in order to enforce compliance among citizens and to ensure their ability to conduct dangerous and demanding tasks. Workers wear identical white uniforms and have shaven heads to emphasize, unfortunately, likewise, the police androids who wear black and monks who are robed. Instead of names, people have designations with 3 arbitrary letters referred to as their prefix and 4 digits shown on an identity badge when worn at all times, which is to be worn at all times. At their jobs in Central Centers SEN 5241 and LUH deep in surveillance. Blah, 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 yeah, but there's like a bit where they have to consume. Star Trek? Yes. Same era, I mean, 1970. Oh, I was like, what the fuck is that sound? Somebody was driving by with a really loud bass speaker. I thought somebody was hitting something with a hammer, but... Look at all this room for activities. How much free space? Current plan: scream incessantly at the wall. No. The current plan is to like I could start putting like a fort goal or whatever in, but I've been trying to shy away from that a little bit because honestly, like, all fort goals are a lie at the moment. I'm simply just trying to build something that can survive the sieges. Oh, got one dwarf who's still got a pickaxe. Should probably remove that from your uniform options. Okay, so this will just be too badass to not use this as a barracks, so this is gonna be my barracks. Survive the sieges? How do? Don't know. We'll find out eventually, presumably. Oh, are you saying that should be my goal? Survive sieges? Who dis? What is this nightmare that I have now found myself living in? Oh wait, sorry, it's just reality. Sorry, right? But yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of that THX movie. I don't even know why I know it exists, but it's, I don't know. It's one of those, like, kind of interesting things that fucking guy who ended up very, very rich and at peak of creation of consumerism ended up making. Kind of before he ended up super duper duper obscenely wealthy, which is always interesting to see. Silver She says it's a good movie. Well, there you go. I believe it. I mean, like, George Lucas isn't, like, had some stinkers, but, like, I feel like every filmmaker I really like has had some stinkers. Like, I really like John Carpenter, and no offense to John Carpenter, but I think he made more shit than good movies. When he hits super fucking hard, but oh my god, that man has some misses. Like, some of the best movies I've ever seen are John Carpenter movies, and then that contrasted with Ghosts of Mars. Well, the soundtrack in that movie's pretty good, but that's... Even the worst John Carpenter movies still have a decent soundtrack, so at least I got that. The Thing is the best of all time? Oh, no, absolutely. My favorite part about that movie is it's the only horror movie that I can tell people, like, people who are scared of watching horror movies, I can be like, this movie literally explains the rules to Among Us. Like, if you still find that scary, then I don't know how to help you. Let's just do any kind of rock doors. Rick doors? Rock doors. Let's just do 40. And it doesn't matter the material type. And I'll just make them whenever there's less than 10 doors. Works for me. Seems like relatively young, artsy George Lucas that you didn't know existed. Yeah, and then he just got old and jaded. It doesn't take long. I mean, money corrupts people. Except for me. I can't be corrupted by money because I'm already old and jaded. In my young age of 30. 31. Already old and jaded. Sorry. Too late. Can't be corrupted by money. It's literally impossible. Which is why, in order for me to prove to you that I can't be corrupted by money, you should subscribe to twitch.tv/blindIRL and follow me on my uncorruptible journey. You just watch. 10 years from now, I'll be doing ads for, like, fucking DraftKings or some shit. Hopefully not. Jesus Christ. Nightmares. True nightmares. All right, this here, paint. So I started getting gray hair. So I used to take cello lessons when I was younger. I still have a cello. It's in my closet now though. And I went to my oh boy. I went to a cello lesson when I was like 14, and my cello teacher was standing behind me and he goes, "Greg, I think you have a gray hair." Because he was like holding my shoulders back because my posture was fucking terrible when I was that young. It still is, but it's better now. And he's like, "I think you have a gray hair." Caletmus, thank you very much for the Prime sub. Good to have you. Appreciate you. Speaking of, the Were Child, a Pasi Maya Thamamimu, or whatever the fuck, a very large bear twisted into humanoid form, is crazed for blood and flesh, and its eyes glow orange. Its black hair is very curly. You will know why you fear the night. I think this thing attacked my last fort. And got away. Oh, pff. So much use this is. I want to say those were in my fort. Medtob? Tomb Cyclones? I'm pretty sure those were both in my fort. Okay, well, you're stricken by melancholy, so that's fine. And it's going to be distracted by the yak, which is very good. Send the Mark Dwarves out here. No. You're barely even. Okay, well. They were already dead. So. As you can tell, children are very bad liars. In regards to them being negative 8 years old. Oh no, not the puppy dog. Uh-oh. Dwarf, you may wanna... Oh. Well then. Good luck there, kiddo. May the best elf escape, unless I get to you first. I did. The doors are locked. You cannot run. There's nowhere to go from here, the withered typhoon. Vengeance will be swift from us. And when we open the door and get our asses out the door. There it is. Door's open. Now I just need to wait for the anytime. Millet. Come on, dwarves. You got this. They're moving very slowly because none of them have had strength training. Okay, here comes the first dwarf. Nil. You got this there, dwarf. Come on. No, what? Why'd you turn around? Dwarf? Oh, you're running away? From what? Conflict? What is that? There's no conflict here. Now shoot this child. Well, this is a good opportunity for some training. Watch one of my dwarves manage to fall into lava. Oh, hey, they hit it. Well, that's kind of sad. I feel like I really need a better way of dealing with corpses. What if I do this and make a garbage dump Let's also do a rock coffin. Nah, that's not nearly dramatic enough. I think we can do better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of all this. Go down here. I'm actually not going to dig through that. I'm just going to build these stairs up here. When we get to the top here, I'm going to actually build this a little higher. We'll just build all the way up to here. I'm going to start doing this anyway. It's going to take a little bit, but I'm going to build a multi-level high thingy right here that goes into the middle and drop them that way. What'd you miss? A werebear elven child showed up who actually attacked my last fort as well. And we shot them in the head with iron bolts. Although I'm running out of bolts, so that part not so good. That's actually kind of funny. A little low on food at the moment. Let's say brew drink from plant. Let's do 250. Let's do... Oh, we're out of food. Well, I mean, once these gates are open, do all that. Be fine. If I would just stop flooding the fortress with lava, we'd have less problems with this silly flooding. It's almost like this is all self-inflicted. Pen pasture. Yeah, we'll just move the pigs over there. Glass half empty over here is thirsty. I upload vids pretty frequently. To YouTube, Tony. I put up some news videos and a full read-through of Boat-Murdered, which didn't do as well as I wanted it to, but it did okay. And at the end of the day, I'm a one-person show, so I will have a new video out when I finish one. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit like... I guess this is probably something every YouTuber with any matter of success feels, but like, it's a little bit... Not demoralizing, it's the wrong word. It's awesome when people ask, like, what I'm working on, but it's always a little bit daunting, maybe, is the word I'd use. When people are, like, any new videos lately, it's like, yeah, of course, I'm trying my best. Should have something out in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Man Bear Dwarf? Dwarf is not driven and rarely feels the need to pursue even a modest success, can be very single-minded and is grateful when others help her out. She is passive in discussions and she often feels discouraged and she's often nervous. She needs alcohol to get through the working day and does not really care about anything anymore. It is 6:30 p.m. currently. She needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't really care about anything anymore. Dreams of mastering a skill and personally does not care about family one way or another and doesn't care about nature one way or another. This dwarf would be great in the military. I'm just going to put you over there. Hold up. Dwarf also likes borax, bronze, and turquoise and rope reed paper and the color lilac, mules and weapon racks and llamas for their wool, and the words of the wonder of walking, and when possible prefers to consume echidna and turnip wine and absolutely hates rats. I mean, who doesn't hate rats? I like domesticated rats, but not the same thing. Let's make some lower budget housing. And by lower budget, I mean, I just click and drag a line. Instead of me, you know, putting design effort into it. Let's unforbid that, unforbid that. How do you name a dwarf? I mean, you literally just did it. You told me to name a female man-bear pig, so I did that. I'm confused. Is that not what you wanted? Or have I been streaming too long today and now I'm just starting to do things faster than chat can see it? That is possible. So I also read the description. Kib. How do you get pregnant? Hasito. Chat is operated by pigeons. Birds aren't real. Don't be silly. Seems like little that for naming a dwarf. I mean, it used to be more expensive and people kept complaining, so I made it cheaper. I think this could be a pretty cool construction. Okay, let's do iron bolts. 10 of them. Gonna need a lot of resources. Meslos the Doctor has been taken by a Fey Mood. Let's not fuck that one up. I am not entirely, but mostly just looking for iron ore. Prospecting. Because I seem to be lacking. It's very tall, that's for sure. Oh, cave sickness only got... Well, it's sun sickness. It's not cave sickness. It's cave adaptation. They got too used to just being in caves, so then they get ill when they go outside. Not really. Makes a lot of sense to me, personally. Besides, it's not cave sickness. It's called cave adaptation. Reminds me, there's been many famous volcano embarks over the years. There's been many famous volcano embarks. Oh wow, already began a mysterious construction. I was gonna go make sure that you were. Bunch of chalk, rough green zircons, good stuff. And then another human mason has come to visit. God damn. 20 to 25 years, Tony? Presuming things keep at the pace that they're at. And pro tip: if you're waiting for 1.0 for Dwarf Fort, stop. You won't live that long. And don't worry, neither will I. It's not even like me being a nihilist. It's just kind of a just don't bother. There's never been a better time. The Doctor has created Balad Sezuk Merilion, a chalk ring, and offers it to the Song of the Wind. Is it not 1.0 yet? It's version 0.5. 0.54? 3? What? Actually, are we on 3 or 4? Shit. I had it earlier today and I lost it. Fell out of my brain. Version 0.5305. So, I will say this about Dwarf Fortress. In my opinion, I'm not right. In my opinion, like the version 20s, or when the game hit like 3D, which was like version 34, Dwarf Fortress was basically a finished, fully playable game. At least Fortress mode is. And it's still just getting updates. Because it kind of predates early access and all of this nonsense. So, and marketing of unfinished titles, but technically Dwarf Fortress is still an alpha. If you want to go by literal definitions of the term, which nobody uses, because nobody knows what they mean. Sachak Ring, which is offered to the Song of Wind. A chalk ring I will offer to my bookkeeper, but in this case, the mayor. Isn't that just life, though, T-Dog, if you really think about it? You know, I feel like you would defrost before 2055 Stromaco Penguin because the world is going to heat up so much before then. You just melt out of the cryopod. You'd have to be sent into like orbit in order for that to work. This is a chalk ring. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with emerald cuts, green zircons, and encircled with bands of round chalk hanging around chalk cabochons and iron. This object is adorned with hanging rings of chalk and menaces with spikes of chalk. I simply do not have enough bullets. Is really funny to me. Caves of Cud was in active development from 2008, although originally it was a tabletop game. It released on Steam in early access in 2015, I think? And didn't release out of early access until 2024, right? It was 24 that happened, right? Anyway, so, you know, there's also, like, Cogmind, which started development in 2012 and is still going strong and is an unfinished game. I mean, fucking Project Zomboid. I don't know, I think Dwarf Fortress, personally, is a little bit closer to No Man's Sky, where, like, the early releases were interesting, but, like, and had a lot of potential, and got a lot of people, got certain people excited, but, like, didn't live up for a while, and I do think in large parts it's lived up to its potential, but it's still a very weird, experimental, unfinished, busted fucking thing. Could possibly be used on a backboard. It's like a teacher's ring. I don't think chalk is quite literally that kind of chalk, but actually I don't know. It's like chalk and talc, I guess. Okay, so that's all done. Let's go beds. Bed, 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 bed. Gila's so happy. Or Gaia, not Gila. Keep looking at it and thinking that it's Gaia, but... Or Gila, not Gaia. That's the wrong tool. Let's build a room there, room there, room there. Room here. Let's do 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. Room there. Room there. Let's go for floors. Let's actually not do it that way. And more bedrooms get worked on. Yeah, and it keeps the same. If you redesignate floors into walls or ramps or stairs or something, it keeps the original material type. So unless you go undesignating and redesignating stuff like this, then you won't end up with multicolored stuff. That's something that I figured out after many hours of fucking around. Gonna go do the Z's, Phil Connor. Gotcha. Any relation to John Connor? Or Sarah. If so, let the T1000 know I said hi. Missed that guy. Fuck, I should rewatch Terminator. Literally anything in this, in like the buildings options that are like designatable in that way. Probably not reinforced walls, although I haven't tried it actually. Yeah, I guess like you can redesignate reinforced walls and just select the metals that you want to reinforce it with. Speaking of hematite, we're doing a little bit of mining. Mostly hoping I find more hematite. I do mean just a little bit of mining. This is a reasonable amount of mining, right, chat? I'm sure you all agree. Oh, hey, look, the elves have arrived. I hope they don't mind the scorched earth. Or, you know, the various corpses scattered around the place. And the dead elf child. They started it. It was self-defense, okay? I claim only minimal responsibility for that. The volcano had an oopsie and it was feeling unwell, so it puked. It's very sad. I literally can't do that, T-Dog. Well, I mean, I could, but they wouldn't buy it, so. It would be pointless. Was it self-defense or elf-defense? Actually, it was werebear defense. You caught a cave spider. Do you have a video on setting up a silk farm? Nope, because I honestly don't know how to do it. Eric Tenier. Genuinely, I do not know how to do it. I usually just make a bunch of looms and dig down to the cavern layer where there's spiders and then fortify the walls, and that lets the spiders in and they just make webs to their heart's desire, and I make cloth. So I actually do not know how to do it. So if you figure it out, do let me know. See, unlike some people on the internet, if I don't know how to do something, I'll just be like, I don't know how to do that. I've definitely seen like tutorial meisters and stuff, not necessarily for this game, but for other games, where somebody asks them how to do something and you can see that they're very clearly like either paging a mod or like looking at the wiki. I think that sort of stuff's kind of funny to me. It's like, I don't know. To the wiki, pretty much, yes. Meanwhile, me and the Dwarf Fortress wiki are just like the Spider-Man meme where he's just pointing at the other Spider-Man. Or like the old school WT, what the fuck, two Shens? Or Lamau two Cat. Chat. I think today was extraordinarily successful. I mean, look at this. We got Temple, Barracks. Temple, Barracks. The beginnings of like an actual city layer in the volcano, and I think this looks dope. Aside from that, it kind of looks like testicles, so don't look at it too closely. Don't look at the little volcano chode. Down here, where it looks like a toilet still, we have the entry to the fortress as well, which is not even remotely armed or ready to go yet, but hopefully by tomorrow, it can be somewhat armed and ready to go. In fact, I could probably load a few of these. But yeah, down here we have the main layer, which is full of a bunch of bullshit that needs to be worked on. We've got an office and an office. I need to make dining hall and stuff for my mayor. I got a bunch of things that are flooded that I need to unflood. And, I mean, we did... Actually, hold up. Is there hematite in here? Just poke around real quick. Not that I'm seeing. No, on the bright side, we still have plenty of bolts. Layer 45 looks like a duck. I guess. Anyway, an Et named Etty has come. It is a Paralili Vivo, or whatever. It is a giant humanoid monster with 2 heads. Where is it? It is all the way over here. It has a sun. Holy shit. These are steel greaves. It is sized for elves. Yay! It fits us! It is encrusted with yellow sand encircled... with yellow sand and encircled with bands of oval cobaltite cabochons. This object is adorned with hanging rings of loamy sand. Cool. What is this? This is a silver short sword. It is encrusted with oval magnetite cabochons and encircled with bands of well-crafted oval garnet cabochons. Blue garnet cabochons. And then down here we've got Avuzdotlon. This is a Rami dress. It is made from Rami cloth. On the item is an image. On the item is a well-designed image of fonio plants in turquoise. And you, yourself, is Etty Embrace Scribe. And you have 28 kills. And that's awesome. Because I think now is a perfect time to say, next time on Dwarf Fortress with me, and chat, and other chat, I think it's time for me to call it for the night, chat. Hopefully you understand. Because I have been live for 9 hours and 49 minutes. And, you know, people would like me to make other videos. So I've got some editing to do. We will fight that Etten tomorrow with our bolts and not much else, because I don't have much else. And take their weapons from their bleeding hands and severed heads, throw their corpse into the volcano, and go, shit, we